Next up, let's talk about the Colorado Buffaloes. Coach Prime Deion Sanders, year number 4. It's hard to believe we're already in year 4 for Deion Sanders. That has gone very fast. 3-9 a year ago. Certainly a down year for the program off of a 9-4 campaign the year prior, trying to get back to that 2024 plateau. Let's get a look at the schedule for the Buffaloes. At Georgia Tech, right out of the gates in week 1 on the road. Certainly a tough test against a Tech team that was in the conversation for a playoff spot down the stretch in November. Weber State and Northwestern, their other 2 non-conference games, they start at Baylor on the road, and that's going to be a real tough test just because they were 0-5 on the road a year ago. There's a lot that Colorado's got to get turned in the right direction, and it starts with starting to win road games.
And it's great that it looks like Julian Lewis will be back and should be the guy, and that's the positive for Colorado. The negative, I think this is the most difficult first half of the schedule in the Big 12 next season. When you look at Georgia Tech, at Northwestern, at Baylor, and then, oh, by the way, you get to host Texas Tech. That is a really challenging first part of the schedule. And so for CU, it's going to be important. Can you split those? Can you pick off? You're going to have to figure out a way to create an upset or 2 in that mix. Otherwise, you get into the back half of the schedule, and now, just like it was a year ago, you're trying to make sure that you're maintaining your guys, that guys aren't jumping in the portal early, and that you're getting to bowl eligibility. And getting back to what Coach Prime has talked about, having that standard at CU. Last year, 3-9, that was not the expectation. But for Colorado, I do think this is, if it's not the most difficult schedule in the Big 12 this year, it's certainly in the top 2 or 3, and a lot of that is front-loaded in that first part of the schedule.
Yeah, it's a difficult spot right now for Deion Sanders and his program because it is such a hard schedule. What do you think needs to be the focus? You mentioned Julian Lewis being back. They're excited about the transfer from Sacramento State, Ernest Campbell, the wide receiver, FCS All-American. They've got talent, but they need to figure something out with this schedule because it's going to be week after week a meat grinder for them.
Offensive line play has to be better than it was a year ago, and I think you'll see that become even more important in this first half of the schedule because these teams that they're playing early, physicality is going to be a big part of that. I think at Northwestern's one that's a game Colorado should be able to win. If they could pick that up, that helps tremendously with momentum.